You open your eyes, and you don't recognize where you are. No menu, no UI, no respawn screen, just silence. You're standing in a forest, but something about it feels too real. You look down at your hand, you move them, and then you see it. A tree. So you walk closer and punch it, and it breaks. Wood drops on the ground. Exactly like Minecraft. Except this time you feel the impact. And that's when your brain finally accepts it. You're not playing Minecraft, you're inside it, and you only have one life. At first, your mind refuses to process it properly, because Minecraft was always safe before. You could fall from mountains, fight monsters, die randomly in caves, and just respawn like nothing happened. But now, there is no second chance. Every action you take from this point forward matters permanently. So you do what every Minecraft player would do automatically. You start gathering wood, making a crafting table, trying to build tools. But something feels different now. Every action is slower, more careful, because you're not thinking about efficiency anymore. You're thinking about consequences. Even simple mistakes feel dangerous. Then you notice something that changes everything. The sun is moving, and it's moving fast. You don't know how long you have, but instinctively you feel it. Night is coming, and you are not ready. So now your priorities change instantly. It's no longer about building something good. It's about building something that keeps you alive. You start placing blocks quickly, not carefully, not beautifully, just enough to create walls, dirt, wood, anything you can find. You don't care what it looks like. You just need something between you and the outside world. You step inside and stop moving for a moment. And for the first time, you feel unsafe in a video game world. Then night arrives. And everything changes. The world outside your shelter is no longer just dark. It feels active, alive. By morning, hunger becomes real, not a bar, a feeling. So you start thinking differently now. Food isn't optional, it's survival time. And that means looking at animals differently too, not as mobs, but as the only available resource between you and exhaustion. Now you might be thinking, just find a village. Easy, right? You get a free house, unlimited bread, an iron golem built like the Rock, and zombies basically become somebody else's problem. Sounds perfect. So that's exactly what you decide to do. But before leaving, you need to prepare. You punch down a few trees, mine some stone, and make yourself some tools. Well, not every tool. You aren't Steve. You don't have some magical inventory where an entire mountain fits in your back pocket. You're just a normal person. So realistically, you only make an axe and a pickaxe, and even making those takes forever. Steve breaks a tree in 5 seconds. You're carrying one block at a time like you're helping your dad move furniture. By the time you're done making both tools, an entire day has already passed. Then you make one more thing, a flint and steel. Because if you're hunting animals while traveling, you're definitely not eating raw chicken. Getting food poisoning inside Minecraft sounds like the worst side quest imaginable. You don't even bother stocking up on food before leaving. Why would you? A stack of steaks might fit in Steve's inventory, but you're not casually carrying 40 pounds of meat across a forest. So your entire loadout is just an axe, a pickaxe, a flint and steel, and a tiny bit of hope. The next morning, as soon as the sun rises, you start walking. Your plan is simple. Find a plains biome, because that's where villages spawn the most. So you keep walking. 1 day, 2 days, 5 days. At this point, every hill looks exactly the same. Every forest feels endless, and you've started talking to sheep out of pure boredom. Then you see it. A village. You've never been happier to see a bunch of unemployed people standing around doing absolutely nothing. You sprint toward it like you've just found civilization after surviving an apocalypse. You grab some wheat, bake yourself fresh bread, and for the first time since arriving, you eat without wondering if something is about to kill you. You finally have a bed, a roof over your head, and best of all, you can actually sleep at night instead of spending 8 straight hours listening to zombies outside, wondering if today's the day they figure out how doors work. For the next few days, you don't really do much. Honestly, after almost dying every night, doing absolutely nothing sounds amazing. Eventually, you try talking to the villagers. Hey, my name is, yeah, this isn't going very well. At first you think they're just NPCs, but then you realize this isn't a game anymore. They're real people, so maybe they can actually learn. You start using signs to teach them your language. It's painfully slow. Imagine trying to explain English to someone whose entire vocabulary is but after almost a week, something starts changing. They don't understand every word, but they understand enough. Enough to have conversations. Enough to joke. Enough to make you realize you aren't completely alone anymore. And honestly, that might be the biggest win you've had since getting here. Life slowly becomes normal, until one problem refuses to go away. You still can't carry anything. Every trip feels like moving houses. So you decide to make bundles. Luckily, Minecraft logic still exists. Somehow, a tiny cloth bag can hold way more than it physically should. You're not going to question it. At this point, you'll take every miracle you can get. Now gathering resources actually becomes possible. For the first time, it feels like you can build an actual life here. Eventually, you find a cave. And in a normal game, This is progress. But here, it feels like a decision you might regret permanently. Because caves are no longer exploration zone. They are unknown space. Dark, deep, and without certainty of return. Every step forward removes safety behind you. Then you hear it. A zombie. Close. Too close. You freeze instantly. Because now combat isn't learning patterns or mechanics. It's survival reaction. You don't know how strong you are compared to it. You don't know what happens if you fail. So every encounter becomes a risk you cannot afford. In normal Minecraft, death is information. Here, death is final. So even small decisions start to change. You stop jumping unnecessarily. You stop exploring blindly. You stop taking risks. Because everything now has permanent weight. Even progression changes, meaning tools are not for speed anymore. They are for safety. Better gear doesn't make you powerful. It makes survival less uncertain. And that completely changes how you value everything in the world. Then one thought crosses your mind. Maybe defeating the Ender Dragon is the way home. It makes sense. Beat the final boss. If you're wrong, you don't respawn. There isn't another attempt. So after thinking about it for a long time, you make the hardest decision yet. You stop looking for a way out. And instead, you decide to live here. And maybe that's the strangest part. At the beginning, escaping Minecraft was the only thing you cared about. Every decision was about surviving long enough to get home. But after weeks, then months, you slowly stop thinking about Earth. You have a home, friends, a place where people know your name. And one day you wake up, walk outside your little wooden house, look at the sunrise over the village, and for the first time, you don't feel trapped anymore. You feel home. Maybe you never beat the Ender Dragon. Maybe you never escaped. But maybe you stopped needing to. Because after enough time, that blocky world stopped feeling like a game. It became your life. And honestly, that's probably what would happen to most of us. Not because Minecraft is easy, but because humans can adapt to almost anything, even a world made entirely out of blocks.